You're watching a PC WizKid review, brand new for 2018 from Patriot. We have the Viper LED series of memory. I've got the red LED kit here. The DDR4 16 gig kit that I have is two 8 gigabyte modules, obviously. 3000 megahertz on this one specifically. You can get different variations in CL timings, but this one here is CL15. You can pause the screen at any time if you want to see those specs. This is gamer certified, okay? So, you know, aggressive specifications. We want the highest overclocking that we can get. We want it to be stable, and we want it to look good. The aggressive stance, I love it on this memory with those aluminum heat shields, very thin, compact there. You know, it's got a little bit of a height, yes. You can see along the top the white plastic. It's got a serrated edge. Don't worry, you're not going to cut yourself on that. It's got an aggressive look, obviously, for the Viper. And again, the embossed Viper logo there in the center. Just love that. Love how they've added that little touch. You know, they didn't really have to. They could have just painted something over it, but no. They wanted to go that extra little bit and add that in there. So it really looks good. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, again, along the top, you're going to get the LED. You're going to see it in just a second. I'm going to have it installed so you can see what it looks like. This one is the red. You can get it in white LED or red LED, and it just stays on all the time. There is no controlling of it to make it breathe or turn on or off or blink or whatever. As soon as you plug it in on your motherboard, it just turns on. Okay? Simple, straightforward. My test system here is an Intel Core i7 running at 4.4 gigahertz. Okay, so we're running the memory at default first. Okay, so you can see there the CL15 timings running there at this setting in the XMP BIOS settings. I set it up to run at the defaults first. Okay, and on this gigabyte board there, as you can see, running the CPU at 4.4 gigahertz. Okay, on this Intel Core i7 7700K CPU. Okay, now if I overclock the memory, I actually got really good results. From 3000 we went all the way up, get ready, drum roll, all the way up to a walloping 3466 megahertz. That's right. So from the default 3000 we went to 3466 megahertz, which is a great bump up in speed. Okay, so normally, you know, you'd have to dish out considerable amount of money basically to buy a 3466 kit, but this one here allowed me to very easily upgrade by changing that in the BIOS. Now, the light show here, as you can see, the LEDs are positioned throughout that top portion. It doesn't actually look like that. Not quite sure why the video is highlighting white there in between, but to the eye, you don't really see the white. It's all red. It's all one color, just like the other components there, as you can see in the system. But like I said, it's red. It's on all the time, and you can't control the breathing on that. You know, any breathing or any changes in the coloring and coordination is up to your other components that you might have installed. But this LED just stays on, and that's it. Okay. Now, when it comes to benchmarks, I'm going to start off doing some benchmarks running it at default settings. Okay, so default timings. I'm not going to overclock it yet, so you can see here what the results are. Again, running it at 3000 CL15. Okay, so first up, we got the performance test 9.0. And what I did is, after I ran the full memory mark benchmark, I took the memory read uncached result and the memory write result, so the two in the center there, and I kind of compared that to other types of memory modules that they had online in their database to see what results they got, right? So I was quite impressed. I mean, from different memory modules that I've tested in the past, this is definitely high-end stuff. This is definitely high-end, very stable. System didn't crash. Windows is running smooth. Windows 10, obviously, I'm running Windows 10 64-bit Professional Edition on this test machine. And going online here, first off, on the memory read uncached, you can see there the result in green, that line there where my results lie. And here is the memory write results, again, compared to other memory modules. You can pause the screen at any time. The AIDA64 cache memory benchmark there, the read, write, copy, and latency, that's what I'm concentrating on. Again, running at default settings. You can see here the latency positioned this memory right at the top. Very fast memory indeed compared to these other memory modules and systems that have been tested and put into the database of results here for AIDA64. Looking at the memory copy benchmark, you can see how well it performs, and it positioned it as almost a 6-core CPU system. Look at those other systems. It just put this one right up there with other Intel Core i7 systems running with different memory configurations. So I'm quite impressed that it left in the dust, basically, other types of Intel Core i7 4-core CPU systems. So very, very well done here when you overclock the machine to 4.4 gigahertz and the memory is running at default. Terrific. Didn't have to do anything yet. Imagine if I overclock this. Well, before we get into that, PC Mark 10 Express, here's the results, 6074. You can compare that online on the 3D Mark website. The PC Mark 10 Express results are there to compare against other machines. Okay. Here is also the SuperPi results for calculating pi to X amount of decimals, for example, and things like that. So the operations between the CPU and the memory together, how long does it take to calculate and give you the value? W prime does the same thing. How long does it take to do 32 million? And 7.8 seconds is the result there that it took in my tests, for example, for W prime. Now, when I overclocked it, the overclocking results for W prime are just amazing as well. Before we get to that, the AIDA64 cache memory benchmarks, I'm going to show you them right here at 3333 megahertz and then overclocked to 3466 megahertz. You can see the little bump here. As you overclock things in stages, you can see how the bandwidth gets larger and larger, so it's able to do more operations. Now, when it comes to AIDA64, now overclocked at the CL15 timings, running it, of course, at 3466. As you can see right there, doing great results with the bandwidth. Again, it positions this test machine right up there with 6-core Intel Core i7 machines, which is terrific. And yeah, that W prime now result is 5.6 seconds. So it actually shaved off 2 whole seconds. So, you know, if you're doing a lot of operations, you want to overclock, you want a stable machine, I was really impressed. Gamers are going to love it. Pop it in there with the rest of your red components that are glowing and doing whatever it is that they want to do, and you're all set. I'll add the latest pricing and the link below in the description. Comment, let me know what you think. I'd like to thank Patriot Memory for providing it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.